Hi, I'm David Avrin with the Customer Experience Advantage. When it comes to customer or client questions or special requests, oftentimes the easiest answer is the worst possible answer. I'll explain more in a second. So how often do you say no to your customers? I'll bet it's more often than you think. Of course, it's not always the word no itself. Sometimes we say, sorry, our policy doesn't allow that. Or we don't offer next day delivery. Or we have nothing available till I think next month. Or sorry, no menu substitutions. Or excuse me, but you can't bring your drink in the store. Now you may not define that as a no, but that's what your customers are hearing. You are clearly there for the masses, and this customer's unique wants or needs aren't going to be accommodated. Worse yet, they won't even be considered. Now, of course, sometimes it makes sense and not every request can be accommodated, but too often we say no because it's just easier. We don't want to have to come up with training to accommodate 1,000 different scenarios. Honestly, the easiest thing to do is just quote our policy. This prevents our people from having to think because they might actually make a bad decision or a poor choice or have to get permission from a supervisor. The easiest answer is just quote our policies. Keep it predictable, keep it simple. But you're likely missing a huge opportunity. The reality is that most requests you'll get are pretty reasonable. If someone wants to substitute chicken for shrimp, do it. Just charge them a few extra bucks. What's the alternative? Not giving them what they want? And then they never come back? Or worse yet, they go online and they rant about you. If someone needs an order expedited, there's probably a way to make that happen. Sure, it might take some extra work and creativity, but that's what customers love and appreciate. They feel heard, they feel respected. They learn that they can count on you. And if you won't, surely there's a competitor who will. Now, the argument I hear most often is that, well, if we do it for them, we have to do it for everyone. Not true. Bogus argument. You only have to do it for the people who ask. If you can, if it makes sense. Most people will never ask for a special accommodation. Now, to be clear, you have every right to design your business the way you want and to say no whenever you want. Just know that you'll lose customers because of it. But when you take some time to examine why you say no and work to say yes more often, you will discover wonderful ways to thrill your clients and customers, engender loyalty, and create advocates for your brand. Here's why you do it. You say no because it's just easier than saying yes, if it's outside of your standard business model. We design our businesses to create predictability in scenarios, customer path, and ultimately in revenue, right? Anything outside of that is a distraction for our team and much harder to plan for and train for and quantify. But here's why we hate it. We want to be treated like human beings. Our scenarios are unique. We want to be heard and understood. We want you to empathize with our situation, our preferences, and the pressures that we're under. If we ask for a late checkout, it's likely because we need it. And when you say no, or sorry, or quote your policies, we feel unheard, underappreciated, and dismissed. Here's a better approach. Where you can, replace your policies with guidelines. Train your people on appropriate decision-making and not just policy quoting. Accommodate your clients and customers whenever possible and reasonable, and even when you have to say no. And there's plenty of times when we have to say no. Offer an alternative. Say, well, let me tell you what I can do. And then work to give them what they want the way they want it. Trust me, it's so worth it. They will reward you with their business, their advocacy, and their loyalty.